Have you ever watched a YouTube video just like blow up? Millions of views, seemingly overnight. And you're sitting there thinking, what is the secret sauce?
Right.
How do some channels just nail it again and again, while others, they struggle to get seen? What if you could actually peek behind that curtain, see the analytics, the tests they ran, the choices that made that video go viral? Well, today, that's what our deep dive is all about. We're looking into this really intriguing new platform, one that claims it can do just that. It's basically promising to show you the strategies behind YouTube success, a shortcut maybe to understanding what makes people click and watch.
Exactly. And what's cool is our source material for this is an exclusive look inside this tool. It's called veiws.com. And there's a premium version too, Views Pro. We're going to dig into what its creator built, focusing on the features meant to unlock those YouTube analytics, those growth secrets. It potentially gives you a level of insight that's, well, pretty unprecedented.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Views.com, the free version. It sounds like it's meant to be super easy to use, right? Like a gateway to understanding any channel's numbers.
Yeah, incredibly straightforward. You literally just type in a channel name. That's it. And bang, you get a whole load of data.
And what's a standout feature there, something that really jumps out on the free side?
I think one of the most compelling things, something pretty unique for a free tool, is how it separates long-form video views from shorts views for any channel you look up.
Okay, why is that separation so important? Views are views, aren't they? Or maybe not.
Well, not quite. It's actually crucial because, shorts views often come from a different kind of engagement. It's more transient, snackable content. This usually means lower average watch times, maybe fewer people hitting subscribe compared to someone who watches a 10-minute video.
Ah, okay. So a billion views from shorts.
Yeah.
It's just fundamentally different from a billion views on longer videos.
Completely different. The quality, the long-term value, how it might monetize. It changes how you assess a channel's real impact. It's not just the number, it's the type of view.
Right, that makes sense. Deeper than just the headline number. Does it get more granular than that? Can you look at the specific videos?
Oh, yeah. You can pivot right down to individual videos. They used an example that ages 1 through 100 decides video. You can drill in and see its daily viewership, which is pretty neat.
Daily viewership on someone else's video. Wow.
Yeah, and there's more. There's this little icon it shows if they ran an A/B thumbnail test. And when they switched the thumbnail...
So you can see when they were experimenting with different visuals to see what worked best.
Exactly. For those maybe not familiar, an A/B test is just showing, say, 2 different thumbnails to different groups of people to see which one gets more clicks.
And you can see that history on the video page using this tool.
You can see that they did a test and when. And then there's this other feature. They claim you won't find it anywhere else online. It shows a video's ranking, like out of 10. So maybe it's a 4 out of 10.
Wait, that out of 10 ranking, isn't that something only the creator sees in their own YouTube Studio dashboard? Their private backend?
Typically, yes. That's the thing. It's usually private performance data. But views.com apparently surfaces this metric publicly for any video.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of public ranking push creators to just copy the top performers? Or does it genuinely spark new, better ideas?
That's a really good question. I think the idea is that seeing what works helps you analyze why it worked, not just copy it blindly. You understand the elements of success, the thumbnail style, the title phrasing, and then apply that understanding to your own unique content.
So it's about informed inspiration, not just replication.
Hopefully, yes. And about that A/B test visibility again, seeing every test someone ran on a specific video, that's incredibly rich data. You're not guessing what visuals grab attention. You're seeing real-world experiments play out. It's a clear signal.
Okay, moving beyond just single videos. What about finding other channels? Is there something for that?
Yep. There's a similar channels tab. Seems really useful for creators. It looks at your content, titles, themes, that sort of thing, and then scans its database to find other channels doing similar stuff.
So perfect if you're maybe looking for someone to collaborate with.
Exactly. Or even just to get some fresh ideas, see who's doing well in your specific niche, like competitive research, but also inspiration.
Makes sense. What else is in the free toolkit?
Well, there are the top charts. You get the real-time lists like top subscribers and most viewed YouTube channels. That's, pretty standard stuff you might find elsewhere. But where it gets more interesting is the granular charts. You can see the top 50 most viewed videos from just the previous day, or the most viewed videos across all of YouTube in the last 7 days, 28 days, even the last year.
So it gives you a real pulse on what's trending right now or what had staying power.
Exactly. It reflects how fast things move online.
Yeah.
What's huge today might be forgotten tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that immediacy is key.
And they also mentioned a Chrome extension. How does that fit in?
Right, the View Stats Chrome extension, so you install it in your browser. Then, when you're just normally watching YouTube, it adds this little overlay, usually to the right of the video player.
Okay, and what does that overlay show you?
It instantly gives you the daily viewership for the video you're watching, lets you compare it to the channel's latest upload, shows that out of 10 ranking we talked about, and gives a quick channel overview too, right there. You don't have to navigate away from YouTube to get those insights.
Wow, okay, so that's super convenient, just having the data right there while you're browsing.
Yeah, it makes the information really accessible in the moment.
And just to be clear, everything we've covered up to this point, the channel analytics, the shorts versus long form, the video details, the charts, the extension, that's all free.
That's the key point here. All of that is 100% free. It provides a really solid foundation of data, and that kind of sets the stage for the next level, which is the premium stuff, ViewStats Pro.
Right, so views.com gives you a lot for free. But then there's VStats Pro, the paid tier. They mentioned these tools cost millions to run, which is why they're behind a paywall. And the promise is these insights are going to blow your mind. Is that the pitch?
Pretty much. They're positioned as tools for people really serious about growth, offering insights you just can't get elsewhere.
Okay, let's dive into those pro tools then. What's the first one?
The first one they highlighted is called Outliers.
Outliers. Okay, what does that mean in this context?
So think about a channel. Maybe it has, say, 10,000 subscribers. Their first few videos get maybe 100 views each. Pretty typical. But then their fourth video suddenly gets 100,000 views. That's what?
That's what?
1,000 times their average. That's an outlier.
Okay. A video that dramatically overperforms compared to the channel's baseline.
Exactly. And the tool finds and stores these outlier videos. The idea is they're great for inspiration because something about that video was special. Maybe an amazing title, a killer thumbnail, a really unique idea. Something clicked in a big way. It shows a leap in audience connection.
And can you filter these outliers? Like find specific types?
Oh yeah, the filtering system is apparently really powerful. You can look for outliers that got, say, over 1 million views on channels that have over 100,000 subscribers, and maybe only show videos that did at least 10 times the channel's average views in the last 90 days.
Wow, that's specific.
Yep, and they emphasized how fast it is, even with all those filters running.
So for you, the listener, if you're a creator, this sounds like a way to really zero in on breakout successes in your field. It's not just random viral videos, but videos that significantly outperformed for channels maybe similar to yours, helps you brainstorm your potential viral ideas.
Precisely. It's about understanding the pattern of what causes that kind of jump in engagement. It could seriously shorten your learning curve.
Imagine being stuck, trying to figure out what resonates. Seeing these specific examples could be a game changer.
Totally. Okay, the second pro tool is thumbnail search.
Thumbnail search. How does that work? It sounds different.
It is pretty unique. You can literally type in a description, like a person standing next to a tractor,
Okay.
and it pulls up actual YouTube thumbnails that match that description for inspiration.
Whoa. So not just searching video titles, but the visuals of the thumbnails themselves.
Exactly. And it's versatile. You can search by typing text, like the tractor example, or you can upload an image, maybe one you like, and find similar thumbnails. Or you can even paste in a YouTube video URL, and it'll find thumbnails visually similar to that video's thumbnail.
That sounds incredibly useful. Give me an example of how a creator might use that.
Okay, say you're that farmer again. You're making a video about your new tractor. You use thumbnail search. You instantly see maybe hundreds of thumbnails related to tractors that performed well. You see how others angled the camera to make the tractor look huge, or what text overlays worked, what colors popped.
Right, so it helps you understand the visual language that works for that specific topic. Helps you design a better thumbnail yourself.
Exactly. Craft a thumbnail much more likely to get clicked.
Okay, tool number 3.
This one's called A/B test, and this is where things get really interesting, I think. This tool claims to show you every single A/B thumbnail test that is currently being run on YouTube by anyone.
Wait, every test, so instead of me running my own tests, which takes time and traffic, I could just log into ViewStats Pro and see all the tests other YouTubers are running right now.
That's the value proposition. Why run potentially dozens or hundreds or even thousands of tests yourself over time when you can effectively see the results from the collective testing efforts of the entire YouTube community?
So you study their tests, See what wins, see what fails, and apply those learnings to your own thumbnails, saving massive amounts of time.
That's the idea. It's like crowdsourcing your thumbnail research.
Do they have examples of this in action?
Yeah, they showed a couple. If you search for Minecraft AD tests, you might see one from Preston, testing a thumbnail titled Blood Blaze against one titled Forgotten Son, and the tool shows Forgotten Son won that test.
Okay, direct comparison, clear winner shown.
Another example, searching for Ryan Trian. You'd see a test he ran for his video. I tried every seat on the most expensive airline. He tested 3 thumbnails, one showing 204/7 service with him in a bed, one saying Sleep Pod $54, and one comparing economy versus first class.
And which one won?
The economy first class comparison thumbnail won the test.
Interesting.
But here's the kicker. The creator of ViewStats Pro pointed out that they had done a similar airline video about a year earlier, and in their A/B test back then, the economy versus first class concept also won.
So the point is, Ryan potentially could have used this tool, seen that previous test result.
And maybe saved himself the time and effort of running his own test because the winning concept was already kind of proven.
Apply past learnings from others to shortcut your own process. Powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? Tool number 4.
Tool 4 is alerts. This one's pretty straightforward, but seems very useful.
Okay, alerts for what?
You set up alerts based on specific criteria you care about. For instance, you could say, alert me for any video with I built in the title
Right.
that gets over 1 million views.
Okay,
And make sure it's a long-form video, not a short.
gotcha. So very specific conditions.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
The tool first shows you all the current videos on YouTube that already meet that criteria. So every I built video over 1 million views right now.
Yeah.
And then crucially, it alerts you automatically in the future whenever a new video hits that threshold.
So it keeps you constantly updated on breakout videos in your niche, matching your exact interests without you having to manually search all the time.
Exactly. It's like having an automated research assistant keeping you plugged into trends in real time without living on YouTube 24/7.
That sounds like it could save a lot of scrolling time. Okay, one more tool.
The 5th tool they covered is collection.
Election. How does that work?
It basically ties all the other pro tools together. It's a way to save and organize the ideas you find.
So if I find a cool outlier video using the outliers tool, or an interesting thumbnail using thumbnail search, or a video from an alert.
Yeah, you can just click save and add it to a specific collection you've created. Maybe you have a collection for Minecraft ideas or thumbnail styles or viral concepts.
Like a personal swipe file or inspiration board
Yeah.
built from the data you find in the other tools.
Exactly. It centralizes all the valuable stuff you uncover across ViewStats Pro so you can easily review and use it later.
Makes sense. Keep everything organized.
And they did mention, this is just the start, they apparently have like over a dozen more tools planned for release in the next year or so.
Wow, okay. So they're planning to expand this quite a bit.
Seems like it.
So wrapping this all up, thinking about views.com and ViewStats Pro together. What's the big picture here for you, our listener? It really feels like these tools are offering this unprecedented level of access to YouTube data. Data that used to be hidden or really hard to get. It could genuinely change how creators approach strategy and how anyone curious about online content understands what makes things successful. It feels like data democratization.
I think that's a good way to put it. Democratizing analytics that maybe only the biggest channels or agencies had access to before, making sophisticated analysis more accessible. We see today how these tools can dissect past success with incredible detail, the views, the tests, the outliers. But it leaves you wondering, given this depth of data, what's the next big breakthrough these kinds of tools might uncover about virality? What new pattern or insight is waiting to be found? And maybe more importantly, how could understanding that next thing change the way you create or even consume content online?